What's cracking, yo? Welcome back to Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. What's cracking, what's cracking, what's cracking, what's cracking? Boo TV, baby, welcome back. Yo, got some more Kobe Bryant content right here. Never seen this video. Hopefully there's some new tidbits and testimony and player stories or opinions that I haven't heard yet from people speaking out on Kobe being Bryant. As you all know, if you don't know, Kobe Bryant's my favorite player of all time, but I do not think Kobe Bryant's the greatest player of all time. With that being said, if you know any Kobe fans, it's hard to find a lot of content creators that are like pro Kobe or, you know, speak the truth on Kobe's legacy and testimony. You really don't hear much of that on mainstream media or definitely mainstream TV. You know, they leave out a lot of context and there's a lot of revisionist history. But there is a home here for Kobe Bryant fans where we could talk about what really happened with his career and what he was really about and what he meant to the league. So tell your friends, come on down, hit that subscribe button and check out what we got here. All right, NBA legends and players explain how scary good prime Kobe Bryant was. Let's get into it.
Hey man, it's your boy YG aka Yangala and Kobe Bryant. We all know who this legend is. And as long as the earth is still here, his legacy will be remembered forever. That's how much he impacted the game and the world. There are so many stories about him, it will be almost impossible to put everything in this video. And it should be expected since he's a legend. The impact that Kobe had was just amazing. Like if you were watching basketball in the late 90s or the 2000s and you were playing basketball, you wanted to be like Kobe in some form of fashion. And I know some of y'all probably saying y'all wanted to be like Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter when you were watching basketball in the early 2000s. But come on, you know you want to hit them crazy shots like Kobe or have the fro like Kobe, which is the swaggiest Kobe. And even LeBron was rocking the fro for a little bit in high school because he said he wanted to be like Kobe. Like he's the first name you say when you shoot a paper ball into the trash can. So he will always be remembered because he inspired a whole generation. So let's see what NBA legends and players think of Kobe Bryant and what stories they have that made him so great. But before we get straight into that, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the culture so you won't be missing any of my videos. And let's get to the vid, man.
Kobe or LeBron?
Well, I mean,
mid-range jumper is by far one of the best, you know, that we have, if not the best that we have in our league. Two dribble, pump fake, reverse spin, shot.
Bryant spins, puts it up, puts it in.
Y'all watch it.
ISO. ISO, yeah, I already told you what that is. Elbow ISO.
I'm getting better though.
And to say, like, you guys can't even sit at the lunch table with me. I got 5 championships.
Talk to us about your relationship with Kobe and what it was like going to war with him over all these years.
I didn't have a personal relationship with him, but you know how killers respect.
I'll pause this right here, man. Just want to talk about Allen Iverson. Listen, man, Allen Iverson's career and how people perceive him as a player, the player that he was. There's a lot of people that really don't understand or realize how elite Allen Iverson was. Like you know, a lot of people say pound for pound the greatest basketball player we've ever seen. This dude was tiny, man. Y'all call Steph Curry small. AI was smaller than Curry, man. AI was like 6'1" on a good day, bro. AI was a monster, man. At his size, how he could, and you know what? I ain't getting into it, but I do have an Iverson video, actually maybe more than one Iverson video up on his channel. Go check it out. I don't think I have an Allen Iverson playlist, but I might start doing more AI videos, to be honest, because he's another guy where I think he's discredited and really not given the love that he really deserves and the respect he deserves. So I might have to do an AI playlist and react to some Iverson videos because, man, I'm telling y'all, man, this dude give you, at his size, 30, 40, just elite scorer, man. Underrated passer, too. But anyway, I'll shut up.
Killers. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. He knew who I was. I know who he is. He gave me that push. I gave it to him. I love the stories that people give me that were teammates, that were friends. I love the stories. I wouldn't say it bothered me, but I wish I could have had a better relationship with him as far as how great other people said he was. I want that energy around me.
Me and Kobe, actually, I walked in the gym and, he's in there getting a full workout on, full sweat, and he goes, Jew, come over here.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, man, what in the world? Like, I can't warm up, can't stretch a little bit, whatever. But he brought me over there, and we playing one-on-one in the post.
Oh.
I was up 7-3.
Okay.
And then we won 21, and then he beat me 21-7.
Playing against Kobe is like playing against a grizzly bear. If anything, any fear in you that shows, he's going to expose it. I've actually enjoyed the encounters and the competition against Kobe, man. Kobe's going to bring the best out of you. And when you play the best, you better be on your best. And anytime I'm pushed like that, I have nothing but great respect for that. My favorite Kobe moment was when both of us was in New York.
At the All-Star game, huh? How good is that, though? We here now, baby. We here now.
I've been Baker.
If I'm 20, then he's 19, 18, something like that. And I think this is his first start in Madison Square Garden. I remember how nervous we both was, and I had obviously played in one All-Star game before then, and we were both pretty nervous. People was making a real big deal about it, he and MJ's matchup, and it was just classic and epic. And I'm glad I was front row and center, just be able to not only experience that moment, but to say that I was there. And the two of us kind of, just formed a little bond, man. I'll never forget, I threw him an alley-oop. I always call it the alley-oop from God.
To Garnett, back
to Kobe.
Kobe and Garnett.
Because I threw it too high, or what I thought it was too high. He went up and caught it, not one hand, but two hands. But I can remember both of us having a really cool time, a really fun time there. Not just because it was Madison Square Garden, but because of the two that was involved. I always like to say Kobe and I have always shared a special relationship, and it's nothing but love on this side. And that's real. Kobe, you've been a blessing to all of us, man. Not just to the game, but to the sport. Sports, period. Thank you.
He had a lot of respect for guys who busted their butts, every single day, being that they were very talented or not. But if you came to work every single day and you didn't bag down to him, because he would test you. That's the one thing I loved about it. He would test guys in practice.
How would he test them?
Oh, elbowing them, talking to them, telling them they can't guard him. You got this guy out here, and this guy can't hold my jock. But I mean, he would talk so much stuff, and he would really just to see how you're going to react to it.
Touch me the rest of the scrimmage. All right, put your hands on me.
And some of it I think is that he emulated some of the things that MJ did as well, because MJ was a terror in practice.
Yeah, he's hard on
he was hard on his teammates.
Rumor has it, there's a story where Kobe was playing against the 76ers, and Andre Iguodala had done a great job on him, held him to like 7 for 20 shoot. So he literally when they went back to Philadelphia, he had that date marked on his calendar.
So he came to the locker room, and he was like, where's Dre? I was 50, on the court.
50 tonight.
Getting ready for the game. And it was Lewis Williams. It was like, he told Lewis Williams, he said, tell Dre 50 tonight. So I come out to the locker room, and Lewis Williams was like, yo, Dre, Kobe said 50 tonight. I'm like, I'm always ready to play against Kobe, so I'm like, okay, this will be a good matchup. Excited about it. So 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. He has 49, and they're about like 20, and he gets subbed out. So he got 49 with 6 minutes to go. The game was over. So that was an interesting night. I actually went back and I tracked that game. He made like 3 threes from like where it says Staple on the side of the court. He made like 3 threes from like the P and Staples, which was like far. So yeah, and then we got a lot of pick and roll action. I'll never forget that game.
He was one of the guys that I always look forward to competing against because he brought the best out of me. And 5-time champion. I mean, this guy's.
When I look back on Kobe's career and all the people he's fought against, the Iversons, the Paul Pierces, Carters, Tracy McGrady's, LeBron James, Wade, the list goes on. The T-Mac versus Kobe battles were my favorite. They would go at it and guard each other a lot.
Unbelievable, man. He's the best player I ever played against. I played against Michael my rookie year, and that going up against MJ my rookie year was quite frightening. and I also played him when he was with Washington.
Wizards.
But Kobe at that time was in his prime. MJ was kind of on the back door of his career. But playing against Kobe in his prime, I'm in my prime, is no doubt that he's the best player that I've faced.
Got to a point where we basically were at the top of our game at one point. And it was always a war. You know, obviously he was too big for me, you know what I mean? So I couldn't guard him because he would just take me into the post.
Utah, I'm gonna say this is rookie of his second year. You know, we're getting pummeled in the playoffs, and nobody wants to take the last 3 shots. He takes them, they're all air balls. If you remember me walking off the court with him. I said, you know what, everybody's laughing at you now, but one day they're gonna fear you taking these shots.
If there's one player in the NBA that you could play with, who would you want that player to be? One player.
Jelly Bean.
Kobe?
Jelly Bean.
He's the best player in the game?
Oh, hands down.
I think Kobe Bryant and he showed tonight, truly the best player, closer. I mean, look, I had a chance to play against him and Michael Jordan. More so Michael Jordan in his prime. Kobe was younger, obviously.
All right. You know what? I got to tell you something. I really can't believe those shots he was making. I mean, as a coach, you say, make him shoot, fade away, laying down 2s and 3s. On every one of those plays we showed, that was great defense. That's what's scary.
Kobe's ability to play above the rim, I think, is, I don't know if it's really been seen before. He really has the power and the strength to play above the rim against anybody. He can drive the ball to the hole and dunk on anybody.
Those games where, even though I was on the court, I just wanted to watch Kobe, do his thing, because it was.
All right, Derek Fisher, that's cap. Kobe Bryant is one of the best in-game dunkers I've ever seen. Probably for me, number 2 after Vince Carter. But to say that we've never seen that, but that's cap. That ain't true, Fish. Stop it.
It was just so much fun just watching him go to work. And, he comes into practice every day with the same mentality, get better. Not just offensively, but defensively. He's the last person to leave the gym. And he's always working on different moves and different shots. And then he gets in the game and he tries it and it works.
Myself and him were still the greatest little man, big man, 1-2 punch ever created in the history of the game. That young man is a beast. We all know he's a beast. LeBron is a beast also, but he's playing excellent ball right now. He's got his team playing well. He's leading by example, but.
It's good to play with the best player in the world on your team because it makes stuff a lot easier.
When and why did you come to the revelation that this is the greatest player on the planet, Kobe Bryant?
Because when I first came to LA, Jerry showed me a tape of this kid, and I knew he had potential. And a lot of people thought we had problems. We never really had problems at all. I'm the big brother, he's the little brother. I want him to be the best player in the world. I really do. So, we really didn't have struggles. I think the media wanted us to have struggles. It's just 2 great players playing on the same team.
He has just an amazing career, a guy that changed the game for me as a player, mentally, physically. Means so much to the game of basketball, and somebody I'm always going to look to for advice, for help, for anything. And just a brilliant, intelligent man, and it's sad to see him go. But he left the game, he put his mark on the game while he was here.
What do you feel his legacy is?
We compare a lot, but I don't want to do that. But just in my era, the greatest player that ever played the game. It's got countless moments, of his greatness, and it's gonna be different not competing against him. It's gonna be different going into Staples Center and not seeing 24. But we just gotta enjoy him, while he has the rest of the season, and respect him, and know that he did all he could do for the game of basketball. And as long as he's going out peaceful and on his terms, man, you couldn't ask for a better ending.
I mean, it's crazy, man. Me growing up in L.A., obviously being able to watch Kobe and kind of one of the guys I looked up to in L.A. is kind of crazy to just kind of see him, hang him up. Obviously, he's one of the greatest players to play the game, and somebody that I learned a lot from, and somebody that I look up to now, especially watching him play. His demeanor, his attitude, his competitive nature. And it's it's gonna be crazy to not see him on the floor, but throughout this season, when we play him, get an opportunity to kind of thank him for what he did for the game of basketball, and just for me being a kid in LA growing up watching the Lakers, it was good for me.
One of the reasons I love Russell Westbrook is because all those things he said, Russell brings that fire. Russell brings that competitive edge, that ferocity, that I'm going to kill you mentality. I love that about Russ.
You guys played in a kind of pickup game.
Yeah.
It's called, what is it called? The Drew
Drew
League?
League, out here.
And it's here in town, and this was during the NBA lockout or something?
The lockout, it was summertime, and, it's like a Washington Park, and, it was just a pack. It was a packed, little small gym.
Kids play there, right?
Kids play there. Yeah. And, he came out. I had 50 points still.
How many did he have?
39, something like that.
I think he had like 40. But
Maybe.
he hit the game winner on
He hit the game winner. Of course he does. That's what he does. Is he the most competitive guy you played against?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
For sure.
really?
I think he shows it on the court as well. I mean, just by his demeanor.
Are you glad you don't have to play against him?
No, I think we all miss him, man. He's a legend.
I was, blessed to be able to watch him when I was kind of coming through the, middle school, high school, in its heyday, and obviously get to compete against him, early in my career, and just see what that experience was like to go up against him. My first preseason, or one of my first preseason games down at the Forum, my rookie year, we played against him, and I got switched on to him in an ISO situation. I'm, scrawny, 170-pound rookie coming in, and the look he gave me was so damn disrespectful. It was crazy, and that was kind of my welcome to the league moment. From there to I think the shot in preseason, probably 3 or 4 years later, he gave me a little pat on the ass after I hit him with a 30-footer. So pretty crazy kind of full circle moment. But he's definitely inspiring in terms of his legacy, and there's not much to be said that hasn't been said in this last year about his career. So it's crazy. It's been a year.
Team at it.
Dropping play.
Last possession of the game, I'm guarding him. He hits me with a move baseline and then knocks down a jumper to win it.
Kobe rising again. Another bucket. The ultimate closer.
I'm like, man, this guy, Kobe Bryant, man.
Jordan's with the Washington Wizards, and they play in Washington. Jordan beats Kobe.
Jordan gets that win. Kobe was guarding him, and he did something because Jordan made the last play, made like a pass, and they hit the game.
At the end of the game, he smacks Kobe on the butt and said,
"You can put the shoes on, but you ain't gonna never feel them."
The 8s, he had the 8s on, right?
Yeah. You're never gonna feel them. You're never gonna feel these shoes.
Kobe stopped talking to his teammates.
They say Kobe didn't talk to the team for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks. Literally would not say anything to anybody.
Like he just went silent. But he was on 1 million.
And when they talked to Phil Jackson, the teammates were like, what's going on? What's going on?
So they said, Phil, what's up with Kobe? He mad at us? It was like, nah, he ain't mad at you.
Well, Jordan told him that comment, and it upset him.
In Washington, it's like, and what? 2 weeks ago? He's like, yeah, he told him he can copy him all he wants and do all that, but he'll never fulfill those shoes.
So they already knew what was coming. So then the Wizards came to Los Angeles to play.
Hey, they was like, yeah, I feel sorry for next time we play Jordan.
Kobe scored 42 points in the first half.
Wearing that distinctive headband out to Kobe. 5 on the shot clock. Kobe Kobe looking in the corner instead. Stops the baseline. Squares up. 23.
He scored 42 and a half, and I think he only missed like 3 or 4 shots. It was ridiculous efficiency and accuracy.
Consecutive points scored by Kobe. 30 points in the game.
That was a nice looking shot. Pull up jump against Kwame Brown. Crossover. Pull up jump shot. Good again. You better take a timeout.
And scored 55 points in that game.
They said they already knew what was about to happen against MJ when MJ came to LA.
Wow.
And they said, sure enough, Kobe went out and that motherfucker said, it wasn't. He didn't even have to tell the team. Once they heard what happened, is what Kobe decided to do.
On Jordan.
Which a lot of people don't say.
He had 42 in the first half.
Yeah. Gave him 55.
Bro, you could see Mike's face in the end. Now that explains it.
They said
Mike with the towel.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was what was told to him.
Yeah.
Do you remember the reality show, The Real World?
Yes.
That used to be on MTV?
Yeah.
Kobe was a rookie.
Arn was my agent as well, and I was the elder statesman of the firm. And Arn called me up and was like, do you mind talking to this young kid and show him what the NBA is all about and how to conduct yourself? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll talk to this kid.
We were set to play a game of basketball versus the real world cast. It was shot in Hollywood, and all I remember is Gail continuing to say to me, look, when you guys get there, you're going to get there before the cast of Real World. All Kobe wants to do is play you one-on-one. He just wants to play you one-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one. I'm like, look, I'm 10 years in. This is 96, 97 year, that summer. So he had 1 year in. So I'm 10 years in. I'm not going to play this young cat one-on-one. I'm like, all right, I'll play a soft game of one-on-one versus him, but our focus should be going against the real world cast. So we get there, and we're playing soft one-on-one, and, I'm doing my step-back jumper. I know you've alluded to this before. And he's like, how do you do that move? And, I kind of show him because I was trying to take things from him as well. He had this killer crossover. I'm like, well, how do you do that? So we're exchanging our go-to moves.
Well, a conversation turned into text messages and phone calls every day. Because, like you said, he was gathering information.
Text messages? Hold on, Reggie Miller. Text messages? I know I've heard this story 100 times. This is going to lead into the 2000 NBA Finals. Was text messaging even a thing in the year 2000? I don't think so. I don't think we were there yet, let alone in the late 90s. Y'all was emailing each other? Snail mail? Postage? Y'all wasn't texting each other. I might have to call you out on that one, Reg. I don't think we were there yet as a society. I don't think technology was there or at least released to the general public by that time. I mean, I was in high school in 2005. I mean, no, not 2005. I want to talk about year 2000. I mean, not year 2000. What am I talking about? Bro, I'm tripping. 2000 I graduated high school in 2005. I got my first cell phone in like 2004. And I had an old green screen with the Snake. Only game on it was Snake with the green screen and the freaking antenna. So I don't know. I don't sound right.
We reached the Bulls in the conference finals, and he was like, so what was it like going against Jordan?
He wanted to be bigger than life. And at that time, that person bigger than life, and still is Michael Jordan. And I didn't have a very strong relationship with MJ. But Kobe wanted to know what was all the intricate talking and trash talking and moves that were going on between MJ and I.
What did you do? Like, what were your game plans? What was this? I was like, man, that black cat, there was no answer for him, man. We tried this, we tried that. That black cat was doing this and that.
And I'm thinking to myself, what does this kid want to know about all this MJ talk for? There's only one black cat, because I referred to call Michael Jordan or Jordan. I always called him the black cat. It's like the black cat was, we were doing this, and I'm talking to Kobe. And I'm like, Kobe. He's like, you know what?
Like, you know what? Well, you better get ready for the caramel cat because he's coming. So before the Black Mamba, his nickname was the Caramel Cat.
I'm thinking, this young 17-year-old, I'm talking about the greatest ever. He says, you're going to refer to me as the Caramel Cat.
That's how much confidence he had back then. This is like 1 year into it. He's like, well, you better forget the black cat. You better get ready for the Caramel Cat because he's coming.
And I thought about it. I'm like, fast forward 2 or 3 years later, it was 2-1. And then game 4 that you mentioned, you fouled out. I'm thinking, you already had 50 and 25. Great.
That's a loose ball foul on Shaq. That'll be number 6. What a big play.
3 years later in the NBA Finals, that same move that I was showing him in my step back, he hit in Game 3 after Shaq fouled out.
Reggie Miller, the marquee matchup we talked about. Look at Reggie Miller squaring him up. These two guys played one-on-one all summer in L.A. Kobe takes it between his legs. He pulls it back, hits the jumper, and then sort of gives it, take your time. Everything's cool.
As he's running down the court, pats me on the butt and says, you never should have showed me that step back. I'm going to kill this young kid. I'm going to kill this young kid.
When I was a kid, when I was in high school, I was growing up through the ranks when Kobe came into the league. He was, it wasn't a dream of mine to come straight, from high school at that point in time to the NBA. But I was like, wow, 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid being able to make that leap, that's pretty damn cool. And as I started playing more ball and I went into high school, the things that he was doing on the floor, I, admired and wanted to be a part of. I went to ABCD camp. And he came and talked to all the kids that was there, and I happened to be one of the kids that was there, and I was just listening. I was just trying to soak everything up I could, And I remember one thing that he said. He was like, if you want to try to be, great at it, or want to be one of the greats, you got to put the work in. There's no substitution to work. And I was a 15-year-old kid at that camp. You can actually find the footage of him at that camp. As I got drafted, I still just admired him. Seeing what he was able to accomplish, winning championships, having, being early in his career where, he learned from the misses that he had against the series against Utah, and he just used that as motivation and got better and better and better to him winning multiple championships, and continued to admire him throughout my high school rank. And then as competitors, just seeing the work ethic that he put into the game. He had zero flaws offensively, zero. You backed off of him, he could shoot the three. You body him up a little bit, he can go around you. He can shoot the mid-range, he can post, he can make free throws. He had zero flaws offensively. And, that's something that I admired as well, just being at a point where the defense will always be at bay, where they couldn't guard you at all offensively, where you just felt like you was just immortal offensively because of your skill set and your work ethic.
So Kobe legacy will be here forever, and he truly changed the game. So guys, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, and tell me what is your favorite Kobe moment, because I know there's a lot, and usually legends have too many amazing moments. So
Mamba, 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 Mamba forever. Mamba forever, man. I heard all those stories before, but it's always good to revisit them and hear the testimony. They need to interview. There's certain players that you need to interview if you want to hear some good, juicy Kobe Bryant stories about, how scary good he was in his prime. There's some good testimony there, but I don't think all of it really pinned down on how scary good he was in his prime. Not all of them. Talk to Tim Duncan. They went through some fierce and iconic classic battles in that Western Conference for years, especially in the playoffs. Into the 2000-2001 run, where the Lakers almost went undefeated throughout the whole playoffs. Interview some people that had to play Kobe Bryant in those series because he was on fire. He was a monster in a lot of those series. Jason Kidd, people that lost to him in the finals. To talk about, some of those wars in the trenches and things that he did. I want to hear more of that. Tim Duncan would be a great interview. KJ is always a great interview. Matt Barnes and Stack usually do a good job at letting people understand the type of player Kobe Bryant was. Iverson, always respect. T-Mac does a great job at that. T-Mac's one of the few people on public TV that actually, you know, tells the truth about Kobe Bryant. And, you know, I used to hate T-Mac as a competitor. You know, as a Kobe Bryant fan, he was the arch rival back in the early 2000s to mid 2000s. Like that was Kobe versus T-Mac. Kobe versus T-Mac. That was a story. Who's the best player in the league? Kobe versus T-Mac. Me growing up in the Orlando area, you know, having to be around T-Mac fans everywhere. Orlando Magic jerseys, T-Mac jerseys everywhere, shoes. Everybody talk about T-Mac's the best player in the league. That's what I had to deal with every day. But they weren't egregious. They weren't egregious fans looking back on it. But, you know, as a Kobe fan, it's like, nah, bruh. T-Mac, Kobe over T-Mac all day. But, man, they had some fierce battles, bro. Him and T-Mac. There's a specific, probably two that I'm going to do a video about. The one where infamously, you know, T-Mac dropped Kobe on a post move. Kobe comes back, dunks on like 2 or 3 players, slaps the backboard, gets a technical foul. I think they both had 38 points that game. Kobe more assists, less rebounds. T-Mac more rebounds, less assists. It was an iconic game. And there's another game in 2003-2004 season. Kobe had like the sleeve, called him Robo Kobe, shoulder sleeve. And, you know, T-Mac was cooking in the first half. Lakers was getting their ass beat. And, you know, Kobe had a poor first half. And there's actually some cool background story to all that I'll talk about when I do that video that a lot of people don't know about. And, you know, Kobe came out in the second half and just finished with like 40-plus points, I think. Most of those points coming in the second half. And clutch, just the dude, I swear the guy didn't miss. Clutch basket after clutch basket after clutch basket. S-tier defense on T-Mac, too. Like, it was crazy. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. And actually, shout out to LeBron James, too. LeBron James gave some really good testimony there and spoke facts on, you know, Kobe Bryant's offensive repertoire. Shout out to Bron for keeping that real. All right, now I'm out.